Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your grand final match for the launch tournament of King of the World. We are going to have Williamfm playing the sci-fi on the white team, going up against Kane. Unpronounceable name, Kane. BratrstvNODKane on the red team. I, of course, am Binary Brandon, and here we have the Europe map, the biggest map, I do believe, and interestingly enough, it does also have these colorful region markers, which makes it a little bit easier to see what you have. However, it does make it a little bit harder to see where units are moving around. So it's going to be a little tough to get started knowing where our players are choosing to start. Although here we go, we see where William is, and in fact, both Kane and William getting themselves a region bonus for turn 2. Now, it's interesting to note, and worthy of note, that Crete here, region with 2 towers, as is Malta. And because this is an ocean region, it's going to be the only way to attack it is by boat. So we'll see what Kane decides to do, if he's just going to let that sit. And now we do see William moving along through Libya. Try to get himself an African foothold. And here we go. He has learned. He knows that he's got to move his units south so as to not eat a ton of damage from the tower moving in from the northeast. And he's going to be able to take this pretty handily. Because once again, 4 units, folks. That's all it takes. 4 gold is enough to take a tower. And here we go. This is going to be exciting because we see that both players have spawned fairly close to each other. Kane over here to the east. That's where he's choosing to settle in. We will find out if either player is going to back off of this. I think, it's tough to say, but I think Kane has a slight advantage here just because he has more towers so he can produce units more quickly. However, they're both at very similar incomes, so I don't think that that's going to be what is the difference maker. Either player can choose to withdraw to a different part of the map. We do see some other towers that other players may want to invest in, and it looks like we will see that. Don't know what Kane's overall game plan is going to be, but he does have a nice stopgap here that'll prevent Williamfm from moving farther onto this northern African, southern European continent. Moving into Jordan, taking himself another region. We are here in turn 3. And again, yet another island region for Williamfm. For my money, folks, I like those island regions. I think they give you a good opportunity to be very defensive. But then again, I am bad at RTS games, so don't take my word for it. Maybe aggression is the way to go. Down here in the corner in Saudi Arabia, we see Kane continuing to move through. Both of these players just play so quickly. They're already up to probably 5 regions each. 3? Okay, 3 and 4. But still, they have a ton of towers, and they're making a ton of money. It's turn 4. It's barely turn 4. 4 regions for Williamfm, 3 for Kane, although Kane is making the same amount of gold as William. Now, once again, we see these island regions for Williamfm, and he is, oh my gosh, this is such an interesting play from Williamfm. He's moving into the eastern part of Europe to try to block off. If Kane wants to come in through the east, he's going to have to clash right here with Williamfm. It looks like he's going to try to get himself a strong foothold here. He takes all of Macedonia. Now he's going to move into Greece, which is a 5-tower region. So this will be a costly push. But if he can get it before turn 5, no, looks like he's not. But it will be Kane with a slight gold advantage going into turn 6. Sorry, turn 5. Turn 5, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited. Yet another region here that Kane could take. And we don't see him spreading out much. He's really just situated down here in the southeast corner. And it remains to be seen if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing for him. If Williamfm can effectively micro his units and attack on multiple fronts, then he can easily pincer in here. And that's going to be a big advantage for him. Speak of the devil, though, Kane recognizes this as well. Moves into Croatia, takes himself a region. Now moving eastward through Bosnia? Perhaps not. But this may be where we see our first real engagement. Here's some medics. It's got to be on the side of Kane, as he is the standard army.
You are under attack.
Moving up into Slovenia. Taking out one of my towers. That's okay. I didn't need that tower. Didn't need it anyway. And now you can see that just 1 or 2 medics is really enough to keep your forces full health, topped off. Williamfm painting this area white. And he may find himself in a bit of a pickle, considering he's got forces pushing in from the north and from the south. If Kane decides to make the long, lengthy march over here through this Middle Eastern region. But instead, it is going to be Bosnia, Croatia. This is going to be where the battle is going to be. See a really strong force from Kane. Williamfm correctly recognizes that he should just pull back. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that. And now we see a handful of these heavy droids being trained up. And it looks like it's mostly the heavy droids. There are a couple of the droid troopers here.
You are under attack.
We'll see how this fight would go. And it does look like Kane is putting some of his attention down here into Egypt. He wants to continue westward. Both teams, both armies being produced right here on this border. And this is where things can get so tense because it's, you sort of get into a Cold War situation. You can have this massive arms race, and then eventually neither side uses the army for quite a while. I hear the mortars moving in. Mortars, I believe, being the longest range unit in the game. They do outrange the heavy droids, that's for sure. I can tell you that much. And again, because he's got medics, this is not a very costly engagement for Kane. He's able to just keep his boys tip-top shape. You hear those miniguns. Boy, howdy, there are a lot of them. But we don't see really any units going down on the side of Kane. I think he might just have the superior composition here. And also, you'll notice that a lot of his soldiers in the back lines, they'll sort of move into place before they start attacking. He's able to move them all up close enough to where they're all firing, as opposed to them just getting in each other's way because of this choke point. But it looks like Williamfm not content to give this up. He's spending a lot of gold on these heavy droids to hold Montenegro. And now look at all that damage, but there are so many medics that he can't even make a dent. It's got to be really frustrating for Williamfm. Of course, he will eventually, maybe. No, I believe that unit's just staying up. Doesn't even get that one unit. Perhaps he does. But we see these, for every one unit that Williamfm loses, he's got to kill 3 on the side of Kane. And he is not doing that, so he's losing this engagement rather quickly. And now Kane recognizing he can just walk right past these heavy droids. He doesn't need to pay them any attention. He does not need to respect them. He's able to take Montenegro in pretty short order. Kane calling the GG. Thinking he's got it won. And I must admit, he's got a rather sizable force here. Able to continue pushing. Moving into Macedonia. As we close in on turn 10, we're about halfway through turn 9. This could be a big turning point for Williamfm. He's got to come up with something, because as it sits right now, he's staring down death's door. Continuing to move through Albania, moving into Greece even. There's just so much havoc being wrought by Kane. And there's the GG from William. I believe it's a best of 1, so I think that makes Kane your winner. Waiting for official word from the judges. But I think that this means Kane is your winner. So congrats to him. Once we get the official word, I think he just made himself $50 richer. And yes, we have one of the devs saying that Kane is in fact the winner. So that does it, folks. Your winner of the launch tournament for King of the World is bratrstvNODKane. Still pretty sure I'm not saying that right, but congrats to him all the same. GG's to everybody throughout the tournament. I'm going to throw it over to the bracket here. We saw a lot of good matches today. And eventually, in the end, Kane was the one who was able to come all the way through, take the win. Good games all around. Well played to everybody. Congrats to Kane on his first place win. Williamfm, also no slouch, getting himself $25 prize for second place. Respectable showing by him. Really, all the games were good. I like what everybody showed off. And hopefully, this is going to be the start of some nice meta, where we saw some things evolve pretty quickly, where people learned how to do things and a better way to do things than a better way than that. So, again, I have been Binary Brandon, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching the VODs. Make sure to get yourselves a copy of King of the World. This game is fun, man. It's a lot of fun. That's all I can say about it. There's nothing more to say other than that it is fun. So, thanks, guys. We will see you next time. Stay tuned, and we'll see you again sometime.